Welcome to Inside Sports Strathpine. My name's Bo Nicholson. I'll be your caller. I'm joined today by Australian coach Wendy Kemp. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me tonight.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming. And we've got Springwood versus Toombul in the ladies NICL for the Southeast Queensland region. Annie Childs has opened the bowling and she's just dropped one short outside off to Alex Weeks, the Springwood captain. Team list, we've got for Toombul Tigers, we've got Jude Coleman, the captain, Ali Nagel, Sarah White, as Olivia Voss keeps that one out, Kiara Wood, Lilia Awizio, Rach Sims, Cara Sutherland, and the bowler Annie Childs. We've got Alex Weeks back on strike here to Childs, and a great down up outside off stump. Alex Weeks is the captain of the Springwood Scorpions, and Olivia Voss is her batting partner. Her sister Charlotte Voss is also on the side with Blaine Gibbs, Stacey Rockcliffe, Shelley Savage, Ruby Blunn, and Kat Jenkins. There's a bit of indecision at the keeper's end there. This is 1 versus 2. Springwood Scorpions came first and Toombul came second, and 1 point after them was Wynnum coming in third. So it was a very tightly contested NICL division in Southeast Queensland, and this is the grand final. Earlier in the season, Springwood beat Toombul by 1 run, and in the semi-final to make this grand final, Toombul beat Springwood by 1 run. So they're dead even for the season. Wendy, what do you think is going to happen tonight?
Oh, look, it's a really tough game to make a decision on, to be honest. Both teams have got some real strike power on the court. Obviously, it's really hard to go against the likes of someone of Jude Coleman being out there captaining the Toombul Tigers. So I think experience might win over in this game, and I think the girls like Sarah White, Jude Coleman and Rachel Sims will really stand up tonight in a grand final.
Absolutely, and grand finals are often won and lost on that sort of experience. Springwood does boast a young side. We've got Kiara Wood coming into bowl here. After Springwood have had a solid start, hitting 7 runs. Just drifting down the leg side for Olivia Voss there, just to sneak a single down to what would have been fine leg. What do you make of Springwood's start so far, Wendy?
Yeah, look, I think Weeks has showed some really good composure out there. She's obviously one of the young and up-and-coming players who has made her way into the Open Australian side, who's coming away to the Trans-Tasman in 2 weeks' time. So I think she's really showing an experienced side to the way she's going about batting tonight. Turning strike, looking for those runs, and they're communicating well. She
seems like a really natural young leader. Because she is, like, I'm not exactly sure of her age, but she'd be about 20, wouldn't she, Alex?
Yeah, I think she just had her 21st birthday this year, so, but they get exposed to so much cricket these days. I know Alex has been playing from under-17s to the 21s Australian side, so they do get exposed to a lot of volume of cricket.
Great, well, it's a bit of a loose one there from Wood down the leg side. 2 runs called by umpire Wayne Thomas. Thank you to Wayne for officiating this game and previous games tonight, the over 45s and the over 40s. This telecast is brought to you by callingallsportsbrisbane.com. If you're enjoying the telecast, very close. Olivia Voss got those young legs. She got down there quite quickly. Good bit of fielding from the keeper. That's Ali Nagel, the keeper, is it not?
Yeah, that's Ali Nagel. She had a fantastic national carnival a few months ago and was a really important contributor to the Queensland side.
It's another really full one from Kiara Wood there. It's swinging into the right-handed batters, but a little bit easy there for Olivia to hit for some runs. So after 2 overs, Springwood's on 16. Now, I've noticed that in recent weeks, the finals have been high-scoring affairs. Toombul beat Springwood 101 to 100 in the previous game that they played. Then Springwood had to beat Wynnum to make this game, and they won 98 to 95. Very high-scoring affairs. Would you say that, as Rachel Sims comes into bowl, would you say that batting tends to dominate in the ladies' division more than the bowling?
It can. It really just depends if the bowlers get their length and line right. As we saw then from Kiara before, she bowled 2 different lengths, so she was either over-pitched or dropped a bit too short. And as soon as you're in one of those 2 areas, it just makes it too easy on the batters. So I think we'll find a better length here from Rach maybe and ask a few more questions of the batting side.
She's certainly got that ball hooping. Now, Rachel Sims was one of those people you talked about that has a lot of experience. Has she played at a representative level to your knowledge?
Yeah. Rach is part of the Queensland over 30 side. Has been on a few tours now. And I think she's just made for the first time the Australian over 30 side that will be travelling to Cape Town in October.
Well, congratulations, Rachel. That's an excellent achievement. And you can see why with that plenty of hope there. That's a really good line to be bowling as well, forcing Olivia Voss to play straight and bringing the field into it.
Springwood is still doing an excellent job here, 21 after 3 overs with a couple of balls left, so they're still fighting really hard and piling on the runs.
What would you say if you were Springwood's coach, who is actually Bruce Arrold tonight, what would be a total that you're happy with from your opening pair?
Well, I think he'd be happy with anything over that 25 mark, so obviously he would expect Toombul to throw a little bit at them early, so I think if this pair can come off 25 to 30, he'll feel like they've done the job for him.
Absolutely, and they're well on target for that at the moment with 23 after 3 overs. For those that are perhaps not well versed at indoor cricket, that last delivery was a wide leg side, and instead of being 1 run like it is in outdoor cricket, it's 2 runs in indoor cricket. So as soon as a batter sees that ball drifting down the leg side, they're pretty happy to leave it alone and get 2 runs in the bank. Another one of the experienced members you mentioned, Sarah White, coming into the attack. Alex Weeks very late on that in-swinger, getting it down and up into the pitch. Tonight at points you'll probably hear Wendy and I talking about down-ups, which is when the batter, like Weeks did just then, is hitting the ball late and into the pitch to get it to bounce up over the fielders' heads and make it nice and easy to score runs instead of creating chances like run-outs and catches. Like that shot from Olivia Voss right there. And she scampers through for 1.
Really well played there. Sarah again offers the team a lot of experience. She played for the New Zealand side for many years in an open end over 30s level and has now come across to live in Queensland and represented Queensland for the first time this year at Masters and is going on to Australian honours as well over in Cape Town.
Brilliant. She congratulations to her as well. I'm sure you can hear in Wendy's analysis that she has a lot of familiarity with the players and a lot of them are representative players out here tonight, Wendy. So we've got a high quality fixture tonight. Oh, that's wonderful fielding from Cara Sutherland down the front.
She's very handy to have down there, Sutho. Quite a tall stature, and being a left-handed, she can actually catch the batters off guard there because it quite often goes to her dominant hand for a run-out. So, as we saw then.
Cara Sutherland was also contracted by the Brisbane Heat at one point, wasn't she? She was in the squad?
Yeah, she certainly was. She actually has come up from New South Wales. She was also part of the Sixers squad before she joined the Heat and part of the New South Wales Breakers set up for quite a few years. So, very handy outdoor player as well.
Absolutely. This is an important last ball here. Scores on 28. Weeks showing a lot of restraint. Oh, Olivia Voss almost overcommitted, but the call from Weeks was early enough. She got back 14 each from the 2 batters. 28, as you mentioned before, anything over 25 is a bonus. That's a good start.
Yeah, it was a very composed batting pair. Weeks really showed her maturity there, really called well, and I think they'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Shelley Savage, who is wearing the cap, and Charlotte Voss going out to bat. So Charlotte Voss is the older sister of Olivia, who just batted, and Shelley Savage, what can you tell me about Shelley?
Shelley is a very solid left-hand bat. Played tons of cricket tragic, loves the game. Outdoor and indoor format. They'll really look at Shelley scoring some runs here tonight.
Lily Awizio into the attack. Apologies, Lily, if I've made a meal of your name there. And it's a good start from her, starting on that leg stump line, forcing Savage to play good shots. If you're hitting that that leg stump or that hip area, you're going to create some indecision in the batters and hopefully some bad strokes.
Yeah, Shelley likes to drive the ball, so you'll see that Toombul has set up a couple of their stronger fielders on the 3 line. So we've got Ellie and Rach really defending there for Shell, I would imagine, because they'll want to pitch up to Shelley and see if they can get her out on the drive.
Right, that's interesting. So the captain for the Toombul Tigers is Jude Coleman, isn't she? And it'd be fair to say that Jude's probably one of the best cricketers in the world. You're probably fair to say indoor cricketers, with her reputation and the amount of games she's played for Australia, and obviously displaying some cricketing nous as well. Speaking of drives,
a bit of a misfield there. That's gone for 4.
Yeah, Charlotte Voss very happy to get on the front foot there and driving that foolish delivery. Lilia Wizio, just a slight misfield. It's cost her a couple of runs. There's that drive you're talking about. And gone direct. Oh, no, saying not out.
I think you might find that
Sarah White may have taken the stumps without the ball, and she has claimed straight away, no, I didn't have it. So really great sports.
Bit of a contentious one there, because I think you'll find that the ball goes on to still hit the stumps.
Yeah.
So she might have sold herself a bit short on that.
I thought it was a direct hit looking at it live, and so did Wayne Thomas, as it turns out. Oh, the wrong end for Toombul. My goodness, Charlotte Voss, Shelley Savage. They need to work out this running very quickly.
Yeah,
So you would say that's incumbent on Shelley Savage to really take control here?
Yeah, just a couple of mix-ups, probably a bit of nerves out there. So we really need Shelley to stand up nice and tall and good communication here, some good body language, and get the kid back on track.
Even Shelley Savage, with the amount of experience at international level and state level that she has, she would still be feeling nerves too, I'm sure.
Definitely grand finals, they're big games, and I know all the girls really want the title of being the South East Queensland NICL champions side.
Absolutely. Cara Sutherland's into the attack here, left arm. Looks quite lively. Doug Watland there, probably a little bit too short for her liking though.
Yeah, she'll get it up there and hoop it around a bit. Definitely probably one of the fastest girls that'll be bowling here tonight. That's on display for sure.
Oh, that's a wonderful shot. Oh, still a chance on though, if the throw was just slightly more accurate. But a really good shot from Charlotte Voss. What did you like most about that stroke there?
Just full face of the bat. It was just a good cricket shot. I think that's just a display of, it doesn't matter whether it's indoor, outdoor, if you're presenting the full face of the bat, you're going to be successful.
And she absolutely did. It's probably, I've commentated a few games tonight. I'd say that's one of the best shots that I've seen on an offside down up tonight. It was, as you said, full face of the bat, really pretty to watch. That's a good shot.
That's really well played from Shelley. Just took a bit of the pace off the ball and found the right angle there so that she could still get through for the run. So this pair's doing a good job. They've snuck up to 14 with a few mix-ups, a couple of half chances, but they still haven't surrendered a wicket to the Toombul Tigers yet.
That's some really good signs there for Charlotte Voss, because obviously we saw her expansive drive earlier for 4, but she's still able to get on that front foot, still wait for it. She's not a one-trick pony, and she's hitting that nice and square and late into the down-up 2 net. Oh, mix up, wrong end. That's okay.
It's really important at this point in the game for Toombul not to get frustrated. They are creating some chances, just not a lot has gone to hand yet. So it's really a game of patience and momentum, so they just need to stay patient, keep bowling good areas, and hopefully they'll get a wicket or 2 and they'll be back in the game. It's
interesting, we talk about the lack of wickets that have happened so far. There was 11 wickets total the last time these two teams played, 6 from Springwood and 5 from Toombul. So there's certainly strong batting sides that will not give too many chances away. And obviously it's become super important for the fielding team and the bowling side to take any opportunity you get, any half chance you can.
We're seeing Kiara bowl her second over, so this will be her last over of bowling for this innings. Interesting play by Jude, bowling Kiara out now.
Particularly given how full she's been bowling, I wonder if that is playing into your plan that you mentioned earlier about getting the girls driving, particularly Shelley.
Yeah, I think that's where they feel they have the chance of getting a wicket, by bringing those girls on the front foot, so let's see what happens.
Bit of movement away there, but Savage just really patient, showing a lot of class. The pressure will be starting to build on Toombul, as you mentioned. Very important to remain calm.
Just drifting down leg side, that one. So an easy 2 runs for the Springwood side.
She is getting quite a lot of movement. I just feel if she just started like 20 centimeters to the left, she'd probably, that's probably better. Like, she's at least going to try and get the batter playing some different shots instead of just, giving away 2 runs down the leg side each time. Maybe overcompensated though. Oh.
There we go again.
And she did like the look of that one, Charlotte Voss, but she missed it, and it creates an interesting situation, a third ball situation. So for those that aren't used to indoor cricket, every 3 balls the score must change. So that could be a wicket where the score goes backwards, or it could be a leg side or a wide where you get 2 runs, or anything off the bat or the legs. The score must change every 3 balls, and it hasn't for 2, which means Jude Coleman has to force Shelley Savage to score a run here, at least.
Well bowled from Jude, full and wide. It's definitely one of the plans we talk about, to make the batters obviously play a shot. So well executed.
And pretty well played, really. She got down on it. She got herself enough time to get down the other end. And again, we're looking at as a good early no call, because Cara Sutherland was sweating on that delivery. Again, we're looking at a team, a skin total, a partnership of about 25 here. They're on 23 now, so all going according to plan for Springwood at the moment. Jude will be disappointed with that delivery.
Yeah, just drifted down leg side. But as we can still see from Jude's bowling plan here, it's still nice and full, still trying to look at getting these girls on the drive, see if she can create that opportunity for a team.
Oh, she had her beat there. Hits the legs of Charlotte Voss. Really good areas from Jude Coleman, showing her class.
And that's really well bowled.
3 balls left in this skin.
Oh, again.
You can see that Charlotte Voss, certainly her first trigger movement seems to be to move forward. She really seems more comfortable on the front foot, don't you think?
Yeah, she's jumping on the front foot, and then Jude's just holding that ball back a little bit, and her hands are just going through a bit early. So let's see what Jude does here with the third ball option.
Slower ball, and out, caught. She beat her in the flight there. She was on the advance trying to cover that, but unfortunately just got there with the angle on the bat just wrong, and chipped it up to Sarah Wright at the back. Good catch. And the first wicket of the game, actually. We went 8 overs, which is quite rare in indoor cricket, particularly in men's cricket, which I'm more accustomed to. But as I mentioned, wickets are at a premium in the ladies NICL, and that's a key one. And a really good follow-up by Shelley Savage to secure a down up 3 to finish, get the skin to 23. They're still looking at 25 a pair. Would you say even Stevens at the moment?
Yeah, it's pretty balanced at the moment. That wicket would have just got Toombul back in the game, I think. They probably didn't want to let that pair come off with the 30 mark, and could have been, up around the 60 mark with this pair coming in. So I think it's really balanced at the moment, and we'll see how this next pair goes for Springwood.
Absolutely. So the new pair is Ruby Blunn and Stacey Rockcliffe. Ruby Blunn is number 11 and Stacey Rockcliffe is number 13, who will be on strike. And Ali Nagel is coming into bowl. As you mentioned, she's currently in the Australian squad,
Yep.
heading over to New Zealand very shortly, I believe.
Yeah, we head off off in a couple of weeks to go over to New Zealand to play a 5-test series against the Kiwis. Should be a really good lead up to the World Cup the following year.
Yeah, right. And that was, I just sort of noticed that a lot of purchase there off a relatively good length.
Yeah, Ali really rips the ball. She gets a lot of bounce and a lot of spin. So she's really difficult to play.
I've just noticed something in Rockcliffe's technique where it seems like she's more comfortable, even though the ball is spinning into her, she's still trying to make room and back away to the leg side to try and access the offside. I'm wondering if she could benefit from getting that down up two on the leg side from a pull shot or something like that.
Yeah, it's certainly something we work on with the Queensland girls, is having a plan to spin. And exactly what you said, maybe getting inside the line of the ball and playing it to the leg side can also be a safer option at times.
I just noticed that Ruby Blunt didn't look particularly comfortable there, and you've got to say Ali Nagel, obviously a quality player, so this will be a big challenge for the two batters. She's gone full, they're running, and that's a wicket. That's comfortably out. Good hands from Sarah White, and a result of good pressure from Ali Nagel.
Yeah, just building good pressure with dot balls and ones. And the girls were just really looking at trying to turn strike and made a little mistake with their call and paid the ultimate price with a -5.
So when you're working with Ali as her coach, what sort of plans are you setting with her, or is she sort of in charge of all that as the bowler?
Yeah, Ali picks where she wants to bowl in her lines. Obviously at training we work on different ideas. We work at hitting targets where we feel batters might struggle. But once they get out there on the court, it's really up to the girls to implement whatever plan they feel they need to do at the time. And
speaking of plans, it looks like Rockcliffe has again gone backed away, trying to access the offside. She's hit it too flat, and Cara Sutherland was all over it for a run out. So all of a sudden, we talk about no wickets for a long time. Now we've had 3 in quick succession. Toombul Tigers starting to gain the ascendancy. A great shot.
Yeah, 6 ball overs. This will definitely be the pair that Toombul are looking to attack, I would think. They've got a very experienced closing pair in Springwood in Catherine Jenkins and Blaine Gibbs. Both representative players, both like to be very attacking when they bat. So I feel like Toombul will think that this is their opportunity now to strike.
You're quite right about them being quite aggressive. They just came off hitting about 42 in a recent game, so they're absolutely in good form, Jenkins and Gibbs.
So the Springwood girls aren't getting much of a break here, obviously with Jude throwing Cara the ball, so another one of their strike bowlers is backing up that excellent over from Ali Nagel.
Yeah, you do get the impression that going in for the kill here is their best chance of keeping Springwood down below 100 runs. What would you consider would be a par score for Springwood here?
I think if they get over 80, they'll feel like they have a chance. Again, they'll just need to get on top of one pair or create some early opportunities to bring some doubt into the Toombul Tigers. So I think anything over 80, there's a game on, but they'll really be looking at getting that 100-run mark, I would think.
So if we're talking about Rockcliffe and Blunt here, who seem to have got themselves into a little bit of a hole, and they're facing some excellent bowlers, what would be your advice to the two batters out there at the moment? Do you want them to play a bit more aggressively and try and earn some of those runs back, or are you happy for them just to every ball on its merits, work hard?
Probably exactly what Stace did then. She just got in behind the ball, got full face of the bat on it, turned strike, got her ones, and all of a sudden you'll see the scoreboard will tick over, and if these two can fight really hard and get you 10 or 12 runs, I think Bruce will be very happy.
In my experience, Bruce isn't happy very often, but but I think he would be happy with 10 or 12, considering the quality of Nagel's over particularly, and the quality of Sutherland as well. That was a really good shot there from Blunt, getting on that drive, but also getting it down and up, so the fielders didn't have much of a chance. And that's a great shot. That's going to be a real confidence boost for Rockcliffe.
It's been really good to see some of the North Queensland girls coming down, and Stacey Rockcliffe's one of those girls. We'll obviously see Blaine Gibbs coming in next. So a lot of the Southeast Queensland NICL teams have had a couple of North Queensland girls, so it's great to see the North Queensland girls getting exposed to this competition.
Yeah, right. That's quite the commitment to the cause, isn't it? Coming down for a few games of cricket every season.
A few fly-in, fly-out players.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's a simple chance for someone of White's ability. She's proven already tonight. She's got tremendous hands at the back sticks, and yeah, quite a disappointing shot, to be frank.
Just a bit of scoreboard pressure there. Probably Stace felt like she needed to do something, and obviously just got the decision a little bit wrong. If she felt that a bit squarer, she might have got away with the runs.
Oh, goodness me. A wonderful piece of work from Cara Sullivan. Not just the anticipation to get to the actual ball in the first place, but the control with the left-hand flick as well. Really, really great effort. And all of a sudden, one becomes two. Dear me.
A bit like we said before, because that's Southern's favoured hand, she's being a left-hander. Sometimes that's not always a run, and unfortunately Stace just hit that and took off and didn't really look at a partner in that situation.
I still feel like Blun is actually batting quite well. She's hitting the ball hard. She's playing with intent and purpose. Some of those shots are quite flat, sure, but you'd rather that than just poking at it. She's not going into a shell in this situation, which is a good sign, I think.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. It's two of the words that we touch on a lot when we're playing. Have intent and have purpose. I think you commit to those two things, you find that most times you'll commit to the run and you'll make it.
Yeah. Oh, that's trouble. That's trouble. She's too good back there, Sarah White. There's another wicket, and I think we've got to 5 wickets for this skin alone, not to mention this wicket just before they came out. So that's 6 wickets in quick succession, and how the game can turn so quickly. They're now sitting at -11 for this skin. What can they do to get back to even 0?
Last ball of the 11th over, so there's 1 over to go. It'll be interesting to see who Jude picks for this last over.
Yeah, tactically speaking, are you thinking go in for the kill here, or are you thinking maybe bleed one of your less experienced bowlers?
I think you've got to keep the pressure on. I think we've already seen that Stace is looking to hit their way out of trouble. Ruby's sort of doing the same thing, so I think she's picked, obviously, Sarah White, hoping that she'll get the ball up there and maybe they'll make the mistake again.
Yeah, if you need a job done, you turn to your experienced players, don't you? And Sarah White has proven time and again tonight that she is cool under pressure.
Oh, that's really well bowled there from Whitey.
I'm not an expert, but I feel like that ball did everything.
It's shaped in and then cut away, beat the bat. And it's just that change of pace. A lot of the girls do struggle with that, the slower bowling. They all like it to come onto the bat, so as soon as someone holds the ball back that little bit, they do struggle with their timing.
Me too. I would not want to face Sarah White in this sort of form, let me tell you. It's a really good shot. I feel like a couple of times they've been beaten by good bowling or by good fielding or maybe a bad stroke, but they've usually come back with, as we talked about, purpose. Like, that was a good shot to follow up a wicket. She's not trying to hit her way out of trouble. She's still playing it on her merits, and I think she understands that, you know, if they walk off with -6 here, then so be it. They're still on 45. There's still another pair to go. They can still get to 70 or 80, and you can still win that game from there. Really important to scrap for every run they can now.
That's it. Indoor cricket's a funny game. Every moment matters. We talk about that a lot as well. So the amount of games you lose by 2 or 4 or 5 runs, which is just one little moment within a game. So it's really important this pair to keep knuckling down, and every run could make a difference.
And it's also very important that Toombul don't take the foot off the throat here. I like that they went with an experienced person like Sarah White here. She got the result straight away. I think it's a good call. Pretty decent jump. Final ball, this skin. White comes into Blun, and a lovely shot from Blun. That's a good way to finish for Springwood Scorpions. they'll be disappointed with -4, of course, as anyone would be, but they can take some solace in the fact that in that last over there, they fought back from -12 at one point.
Yeah, exactly what you said earlier. They fought back from -12, put 6 or 8 on it, and have still given their team a chance to hit, that 80 or 90 mark with this last pair going in that you touched on earlier, that have been scoring 40 plus a game.
Absolutely. So, as you mentioned earlier, we've got Kat Jenkins and Blaine Gibbs coming in. You mentioned that Blaine Gibbs is from North Queensland. Is that from Townsville, I believe?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Townsville girls.
She's a Wildcat at heart, I'm sure. So they don't have a ladies NICL in North Queensland. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
I don't think so. I think it's just Southeast Queensland, which is a real shame, because I'm sure that there's a number of girls, as we've seen tonight, that would love to have their own competition up there. But
there's lots of talent coming out of North Queensland. I know we've got the 3 Dixon sisters that all play for Victoria Point, and then obviously Miss Stacey and Blaine flying down, and Courtney Hewitt being part of the Wynnum squad, just to name a few. But there's a lot of girls up there and very talented cricketers.
Well, that's enough for a team right there. Unfortunately, they need probably a few teams. Oh, well, it's baby steps. Been a good start so far from this batting pair. Another really great shot.
So we've got Annie Childs bowling the 13th over.
She'd probably want to just bring her line in just a touch to try and force them to play on the leg side. That's a much better delivery.
Commentators curse there for Blaine. You've been spot on with that call. Really need the girls to be bowling stump to stump and really making it hard for them to free their arms.
As one Townsvillian to another, I apologise, Blaine. Sorry about the commentator's curse, because I've just given you 3rd ball here. But credit to Childs. As we mentioned, she started a little bit wide there, but she's brought it in. She's got 2 dot balls, 3rd ball opportunity. And nice and straight again, but probably just a touch short. Well played by Blaine Gibbs. 8 off the over. A good one for Springwood Scorpions.
Yeah, that'll help their composure for sure. Coming in off a negative pair is always challenging as a batting partnership. I'm sure they were feeling nervous when they went out there, but 8 will certainly ease those nerves, and they'll be looking at consolidating here with another strong over.
They may have some struggles on their hands, though, because they've just brought Ali Nagel in to bowl her 2nd over after an exceptional first. Oh, uppish. Got the top end of the bat. Almost a chance at the top end. Blaine Gibbs hits her bat in frustration repeatedly.
Early chance there for the Toombul Tigers. You'll notice here with Catherine Jenkins, won't let Ellie get settled on a length. She'll use her feet well to spin. So it'll be interesting to see this matchup.
It's good to see. It's good to see. I've been going back watching highlights of the Ashes cricket and stuff from years ago, and I watched Australia take Graham Swan out of the attack, and it was just using your feet. It works at this level as well. Ali Nagel's one of the best spinners in the country, and Jenkins made that look pretty easy just then.
And it's funny what you can do to a spinner when you don't let them get settled. We saw in Ellie's first over, the batters weren't real keen to come at her. They let her bowl to her length, and she made it look really, really easy. Straight away, she'll know with this pair that if she gets it wrong, they'll go after her, which puts that added pressure on the bowler.
And they did go after her. Blaine Gibbs going for the drive there from the fuller delivery, and a really great catch from Childs, wasn't it, at offside sweeper. They can be quite tricky, those ones that shoot off the top net and shoot down.
Well, she made that look really easy, and it was quite a difficult catch. So, well done to the youngster on the 3 line.
It is really nice in the ladies NICL to see such a mix of obviously very experienced cricket. Oh, great shot from Jenkins. Oh, and well run too. Using the feet as you predicted. Well done, Wendy. It's a really great thing to see the experience of Jude Coleman and White and those girls mixed in with the young ones like Childs, obviously.
Kiara.
Yeah. Really good to see that young talent coming through, playing on the big stage tonight. Some will go better than others. We've seen that already, but they'll all be better for it in the end, I feel.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it from all the teams, and it's been fantastic from the Southeast Queensland perspective, particularly from a Queensland coach perspective. Seeing the experience rub off on some of the young kids coming through, it's going to put us in a good stead in future years.
Absolutely. You are watching the Ladies NICL Grand Final in the Southeast Queensland region. This is the Springwood Scorpions batting against the Toombul Tigers. My name's Bo Nicholson. I'm joined by Australian coach Wendy Kemp for all of her expert comments. And so far she's been proven quite right about Jenkins and her use of her feet and her intent, which has been very impressive. We've got Awizio back into bowl.
Yeah, Springwood have found themselves on 65 here after 15 overs, so 2 overs to go. As we spoke about earlier, if they can, get 10 and over here, they're going to be pushing that 85 mark, which will give them something to bowl at.
Yeah, only a couple of overs left. I'm just trying to rack my brain about who else hasn't bowled. Is it Jude Coleman?
Yeah, Jude's still got a over up her sleeve, so
that'll be tough.
Should be bowling the 16th over.
That's a lovely piece of athleticism from Cara Sutherland in the front court there. But to no avail. Blaine Gibbs gets home safely and Jenkins adds another 2 to her total. You can see what difference a bit of confidence makes. These two batters have been in great form recently with the stick, and you can see they're just, a bit more intent behind them, a bit more confidence behind their stroke play, and it's making a huge difference to the scoreline so far.
Yeah, and they've batted with each other throughout the whole season, I think, so they're probably comfortable with each other, and that does help when you form a comfortable batting pair, so I think that's showing as well.
Awizio will be disappointed to drop short outside off there, but a really good bit of fielding from Nagel keeps it off the net. For those that aren't used to indoor cricket, you get extra runs if the ball hits the side net, and that would have been 2 runs if it did, but Nagel stopped it. It's only the run that the batters ran between the wickets. And that is 2 runs because it hits the side net. Great shot by Kat Jenkins. Really, really waiting on it. Good early footwork. She looked organised.
Yeah, Kat's really showing her class here. She's been a member of the Queensland Lightning team in the past. Also a member of the Queensland Fire outdoor team a few years back. So quite an experienced cricketer. And I think she's really showing that tonight.
She's going to need all of it right now against one of the greats, Jude Coleman. That seemed like quite a smart shot, really. Not much you can do with that one. A good ball. She's working around the corner for a cheeky little single. Sadly, the throw just not up to it and sneaks through for a single there.
Yeah, probably just that half chance that Toombul would have loved to execute there. Would have really put Springwood on the back foot.
Oh, especially with the momentum they've gained in the last couple of overs. And Toombul haven't been missing many chances, so a bit unlike them actually. Oh, good shot. It's a shame she'll only get 1 for it. I thought that was destined to be 3.
Good shot, but you can also see by the lines that Jude's bowling, it's not allowing the batters to really find any net scores. So she's bowling a really, really tight line and really only offering 1 or a dot.
And as soon as she offers a little bit of width, it's 2 runs. Good shot by Blaine Gibbs, who is fairly piling on the runs at the moment. On the drive, and it's gone through. Oh, that is a rare gift from Jude Coleman. You don't see that very often, do you, Wendy Kemp?
No, a little misfield there from Jude. Maybe had too much time. Not in her usual leg side spot, but she'll be disappointed with that.
And because she missed it, it would have been a dot ball, but she missed it. It went through. The batter's got 5 runs for it. Sarah White does not make the same mistake, and the team total gets to 82. What do you make of that?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think that's a pass score for Springwood. It gives them something to bowl at. They're going to have to be on their game. They're going to have to bowl some really good areas, and they're going to have to be up and about in the field and take their opportunities early.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Inside Sports Strathpine. You are watching the Ladies NICL Grand Final for the Southeast Queensland region. The Springwood Scorpions have scored 82 runs, which is a competitive total. They now have to defend that with the Toombul Tigers coming out to bat. My name's Bo Nicholson. I'm your caller, and I'm here with Australian coach Wendy Kemp. Thanks for joining us again, Wendy.
No worries at all. It's been a really entertaining game of cricket so far.
I've got a feeling this one will go down to the wire, just like the other two earlier in the season have. I mentioned before that Springwood won the first encounter between these two teams by 1 run, and then Toombul won the major semi-final by 1 run to get them into the grand final, forcing Springwood to beat Wynnum to get here. So these guys these girls, I should say, are accustomed to really, really good tight games, and with Lilia Wizio and Cara Sutherland out there to bat, it looks like it's going to be a very strong opening for Toombul, I would have thought.
Yeah, Cara and Lily have been batting quite a few times this season and have been going out there and getting the job done for Jude and the team. So I'd be expecting this pair looking to try and get that 20 mark. 25 would be fantastic. Get them off to a solid start.
Olivia Voss is opening the bowling for Springwood, and she's started quite full. Sutherland confidently on the front foot, playing what looked more like an outdoor square drive, and because it was so flat, an early call of no is the safer option.
Yeah, that's probably one of Solo's challenges in the game from that crossing over from outdoor to indoor, is just telling herself to wait on the ball that little bit longer so that she gets it down up. But look, love to seeing her drive and playing that full face of the bat at the ball. So.
And a good start by Awizio as well, just waiting on it, getting, again, the full face of the bat down into the ground, and a good early no call, understanding that you don't want to take Jenkins on too often. Ooh, beaten for pace there by Olivia Voss, one of the younger members of the Springwood side.
That was really well bowled, just going across Lily there, and nice and full, and asking a few questions of the youngster.
Yeah, battle of youth out there between these two. Oh, and third ball, she's got a great hands from Rockcliffe at the back. Beaten outside the off stump. Didn't look particularly comfortable outside off in the last couple of deliveries. So,
yeah, it might be that angle going across it that the girls aren't always used to. So interesting to see here how Lily bounces back from this, and she's going to work really hard at watching the ball, seeing if she can get that confidence up by getting one out of the middle.
It's so important to get that good start. And Springwood were blessed in that sense. They had a wicketless 28. An early wicket here for Toombul. Let's see how they rebuild. If they got plenty of time to rebuild back to 20 or 25. If you're Springwood, are you going pretty hard at this pair to keep them below 10 if possible?
Yeah, I think you really do need to. When you know you've got the likes of Sarah and Jude and Ellie, Rach in the shed, they're going to have to go hard at this pair, I think.
We've got Ruby Blunt coming on to bowl to Cara Sutherland. Looks like a bit of a finger spin action away from Cara Sutherland.
A little bit of off spinner there.
Yeah.
Solo did really well, waited on that and banged it up for a down up too.
There wasn't a lot of purchase on the ball. It kind of just sort of drifted through there. Maybe a touch short of a length. That's a better length and a much better line. And pretty well played by Awizio. Just happy to take a single down to outdoors fine leg. Getting some advice from one of the elder statesmen on the back of the court there. And that's a much better delivery. A good line. Sutherland treats it with some respect. What are your thoughts about taking dots and stuff like that as a batter? Are you happy to see your batting side taking dots and being safe?
Yeah, look, it's something we're really talking about to try to involve the game, is by scoring in more areas in indoor cricket. But I think there's a time and a place for that. Right at the moment here, I think a bit of composure is what's required from the Toombul Tigers. So a dot far would outweigh giving the Springwood girls a chance. So I think Solo will identify that. She'll read what's needed at the time, and she'd be happy to face a few dots and settle things down a bit here.
And it paid off immediately for Cara Sutherland because the next ball was a full toss. She advanced, she drove beautifully and scored 4 runs. Blunt just sort of edging on the side of full here at the moment. And now she's dropped short and Sutherland deals with it as you'd expect from a class batter. So that's a productive over for the Toombul Tigers. 10 runs off it and they're back up to 8 off 2 overs and you'd pretty much call that par.
Yeah, exactly. That was outstanding over the way Sutherland played that over then. She waited for the spinner to overpitch, hit it for runs, and then adjusted her length and then sat back and worked it square for 2. So really pleasing to see from Sutherland.
Here's an interesting decision from Alex Weeks. I wonder if Shelley Savage, who would be a leader out there as well, whether she has called for this ball. She understands that this is a time to get in there and lead from the front to take wickets. And straight into that leg stump line, creating a half chance for Weeks if she could have gathered cleanly.
Yeah, she's a difficult bowler to get away, Shell. She bowls a really nagging line of length at times. So it'll be interesting, this battle now with Lily and Shelley.
A full toss, and it beats Blund at leg side sweeper there.
Takes the Toombul Tigers to 12 off three overs.
Yeah, they're well on their way now, and it's going to take a big effort here from Springwood to, like a real special piece of fielding or just some really good consistent bowling to bring this back in their favour, or more in their favour at least. And Savage seems like the kind of person for that job. Oh, that was a good piece of fielding from Weeks to keep it off the 2 net. She saved the 1. It's a shame she couldn't get a better grasp on the ball though. It would have been an interesting half chance there.
Yeah, Weeksy's proving to be very versatile in the field, and it's been one of the attributes that's probably found herself, given her a chance of getting into the Australian side. She's been fielding in many positions from wicketkeeper to receiver at the back stumps, and now she's finding herself in her club situation up front. So, yeah, a feather in the cap for Weeksy, I guess, in her adaptability in the field.
She's one of the more promising players in Australian indoor cricket, that's for sure. And that's an accidental down up 3 on the leg side. You'll take that every day of the week.
That's one you just want to see in the scorebook, not on the live stream.
Sorry, Lily, we've got that one on camera. I'm sorry about that. Look, the score is 16. That was 8 runs off that over, so just ticking along. And as I'm sure you'll agree, 8 runs off Shelley Savage in this game situation, you're probably pretty happy with that as a batter.
Yeah, Shelley would be a bit disappointed. She didn't quite get her length right. She overpitched a couple and then dropped a bit short. That's key at the moment for Springwood, is just asking lots and lots of questions at Toombul.
Here we have Blaine Gibbs coming into the attack. An unusual action. He comes back to Jenkins and, oh, did she have the ball? It's been given out by Wayne Thomas. He's confident that the ball has contacted the stumps. Lily Awizio with the desperate dive to get in. Just not enough. She just hit it too flat and too hard. It bounced right back to those stumps.
Yeah, Janko's one of the fairest players going around. Having a quick look at the replay, she definitely had the ball in hand.
Great. Well, great receiving from her. She's obviously very versatile. I've noticed that she's roving around the court tonight, depending on where the bowler would have been.
Yeah, very handy cricketer, Kat.
And that's a good line from Gibbs to follow it up, just hitting Sutherland on the upper thigh there. And again, I feel like Weeks is like half a metre away from having a stunning piece of fielding down in that front court at the moment. She has to be patient, not lose her cool here.
Lovely shot there from Lily. Getting in a nice position, foot forward to the ball, and then nice down up too.
A beautiful straight bat too. You may have heard some noise on a nearby court. That is the men's NICL, which is happening. Victoria Point have scored 100 against Strathpine, and now Strathpine are doing their best to chase that. And they've had a tricky start. They're 5 after 2 overs, so we'll keep you informed of the result of that one while we watch this one. Blaine Gibbs has, unfortunately for her, delivered a full toss to finish this skin. Sutherland does not play a silly stroke. She plays a good shot up for 2, and they finish with 17. How do you think TOOM will feel about 17 runs?
I think they'll be really happy with that. Like I said, I thought 20 would have been the target they were going for. Had a couple of little bumps along the road, but at the end of the day, 17's a great start when you're chasing 82. So really good job there from the girls.
I was most impressed with the fact that despite they had a slow start, they didn't lose their heads. They faced some quality bowlers just then, and they came out, you know, pretty much almost par, sending in the likes of White and Nagel to continue the job, with Weeks to bowl around the wicket to White. And a good start from Weeks, a good length and a pretty good line there.
Yeah, so Weeks is another one of those bowlers that bowls those big in-swingers, so typically the girls find hard to play, so, you know, she'll be aiming towards that middle to leg stump, which is a harder line for the girls to find a way of turning strikes, so it'll be interesting to see if Weeks gets a length right here.
Oh, a clean grab there could have been interesting. I think Nagel would have made her ground anyway, and 2 is scored by White. Interesting to note that after the first ball and getting it right and tricking up White a little bit, hitting her on the body, they put 2 fielders across to the leg side, obviously with Weeks swinging it in that direction.
Yeah, so she's trying to get, obviously they're trying to get Ali to play through the offside to try and find runs because they're clogging up the leg side. So it's just making the batter try and do something a little bit different or a bit unusual. So
would that potentially expose her stumps to be bowled?
Exactly. And that's what makes it feel like she stands a chance if Ali's trying to play an in-swing bowler through the offside. So.
Yep. Well, let's see if it works for her. So far, it's been a pretty good over. She would be disappointed with the length of that last ball. It's a better length. Oh, good hands. But White has got back. The flick from Savage was just slightly wide, and really good work from Rockcliffe to get that ball back to the stumps. But in the time that had passed, White managed to return to her crease.
It was like Sarah got surprised that there was 2 on leg there for a minute, but
it's been good work from Olivia Voss down that front court. I've been really impressed with her. I know that she's quite young. I'm not sure exactly how old she is, but she batted really well to open up. She bowled with good pace. She's looked pretty good in the field so far. Been a really good game from her so far.
Yeah, I think both the Voss girls have performed well to this point, so it'd be interesting to see how they handle the pressure at the end of the game.
I believe they also travel to play cricket. I believe they come from somewhere in New South Wales and they drive up to play at Springwood just to be coached by Bruce Arrold, which Bruce Arrold tells me about regularly.
Yeah, Bruce is a super experienced coach, obviously a bit of a legacy in the under-17 national boys division. I know he's won loads and loads of titles in that age group, and cares a lot about the sport and a lot about the girls' cricket.
And you can see that both of these teams are well coached and well drilled, and that was a wonderful piece of fielding from Alex Weeks in the front court. Good athleticism, all for naught, but it's good to make the batters run hard and work hard for each run they're going to get. Oh, that may have hit Savage in the face. A dead ball has been called. I think we're calling for a medic potentially. Oh, I've been asked if I want to see it again. We might want to. I think it's hit her square in the face. It was a pretty flush shot. It might not be good viewing. Oh, yeah.
Shelley's an old war horse. It'll take a fair bit to get Shell off the court in the grand final. You can see her smiling already. She'll want to stay out there, that's for sure, and to help her team out.
Hopefully there's no issues with concussion or anything like that, because that was hit fairly hard, to be sure. Ali Nagel can certainly hit a ball. And looks like they've pretty much kissed and made up there, which is good to see. Savage has taken it in the right spirit.
Yeah, all the girls get along really incredibly well. It's a pretty close group, the Queensland team, and everyone knows each other and everyone wants to see each other be successful, so it's nice to see.
I wonder if Savage has said anything to Jenkins about the length she's bowling after that particularly short delivery. A better length on that one, and it just snuck through for a dot ball.
Yeah, she's right back on the money there, Kat was. Again, just bowling those nice tight lines. And again.
Oh, yes, that's out. Great catch. Really good reflexes from Shelley Savage, who doesn't always field down the front, I wouldn't have thought. I've seen her receive a fair bit.
Yeah, she's a backsticker as well, so she's normally a receiver. But very versatile, chases the ball, and just really wants the ball coming to her.
That was not an easy catch.
No. She reads the game very well, Shell. She's always in the moment, and she's always someone that you like playing cricket with.
That's the kind of stuff you see in highlights reels if an outdoor cricketer like Cameron Bancroft takes a good close catch and it's on the highlight reels for a week. Savage does it for breakfast. Look at that. Like, just no trouble at all.
Springwood are right in the game here after 6 overs. Toowoomba Tigers are on 21 runs, chasing 82. They've bowled really well, the Springwood girls.
As we mentioned before, this is a pair that Toowoomba would be relying on to get a good total, and there is still time for that, of course, but a bit tentative, a bit stop-starty, getting out regularly. There's probably an opportunity to score runs there, but just snuck inside that leg side line, according to umpire Thomas. Just a reminder that if you're enjoying the broadcast, it's brought to you by callingallsportsbrisbane.com. So if you have an event that needs to be live streamed, please get in contact with them at callingallsportsbrisbane.com. My name's Bo Nicholson. I'm joined by Australian coach Wendy Kemp. We're watching the ladies NICL Grand Final for the Southeast Queensland region, and we have a game on our hands. Both teams are fighting hard here. It's been one of those sort of dogged games where there's been plenty of skill, but I get the impression that the team that will prevail at the end will be the team that just simply wants it more.
Yeah, I think the team that can remain the most composed. There should be enough scoring opportunities here if Toowoomba remain composed and don't look for too much. I think they should be able to chase that score down.
And as we speak about composure, just not trying to overplay her hand there, Sarah White. Just playing it into the corner nice and safely for some runs. Over on the men's NICL court, it looks like Victoria Point certainly have the upper hand. Strathpine are 12 after 6, chasing 100 against Victoria Point.
It's a great shot there from Elle. Really good use of the feet. Got into a nice strong position and nice down up.
It's exactly the kind of shot you'd expect from someone of her class. Blunt just seems like she's just finding a nagging kind of line there, but maybe the length could have been just a little bit better. She finishes with none for 18. She'll be disappointed with that, but she has plenty of opportunities to contribute in the field from now on. While Springwood turn to, it looks like Savage potentially. Yes, Savage is going to be bowled out as well. What do you make of this decision?
Yeah, she's dependable, Shell, so I think what Weeks is probably wondering here, she just needs someone to bowl 6 decent balls and ask some questions. I think we've identified that Sarah's struggling with the off pace at the body bowling, and I think Shelley can probably execute that plan for Alex.
Yeah, great. We haven't seen Stacey Rockcliffe or Charlotte Voss bowl yet. Oh, goodness.
That was really well bowled there from Shell.
It's almost paid immediate dividends, bringing her back into the attack. Just that nagging line and length, like, I would be terrified facing that. And a really good shot to follow it up. Maybe just erring slightly on the side of being full there, Shelley. And a wonderful shot by Sarah White, finding the gap. It's no easy feat to beat Jenkins and Gibbs.
No, she's just really leaned on that one and found a way through and 4 scores, which will be a real pressure release for the Toowoomba Tigers.
Oh, good work from Charlotte Voss. She looks very, very efficient down there in the corner. Puts a lot of pressure on the Tigers batters to really get their down-ups right, because if they hit too flat, you've got Voss and Weeks down that front, and Rockcliffe has already shown she's got great hands at keeper. Two balls left in this skin. Score is 34 total, chasing 83 for victory. He's called that good, so I think we've got a 3rd ball situation.
This is a big moment within the game here. I think if Toowoomba could walk off with this pair scrapping a hard-fought 19 or 20 runs versus a pair maybe coming off on 12 if they can execute a 3rd ball. So it's a big moment within the game.
Savage bowls straight. Oh, it's out. Oh, he's given it not out. He said that White has made her crease, and he's given 1 run. The Springwood Scorpions are less than impressed with that decision.
We'll have to have a look at the replay, hey? Ooh.
Yeah, I think comfortably out. Unfortunately for Wayne Thomas, he wouldn't have been sighted from, as you can see where he's standing up the top, you wouldn't be able to see White's bat.
Definitely short of a crease, so that's one that Toowoomba have got away with.
Yeah, lucky. Hopefully it doesn't have a major impact on the game. 35 is the total so far. You'd have to say at the moment Toowoomba Tigers are not tracking. They're slightly behind the 8 ball, but this is where the game did turn sharply in their favour in the first innings. When Rockcliffe and Blum were batting, they just didn't get their skills quite right often enough, and they walked off with -4. If Toowoomba can do the opposite and execute their skills really well, walk off with 25-30, you might even say they're in the driver's seat at that point.
Yeah, look, this is a really young pair that Toowoomba have thrown out there. We've obviously got Kiara and Annie batting together. Look, I think Toowoomba will be happy if these 2 girls can scrape out a 15 or 20 runs and really set that last pair up for Jude and Reach to bring the game home for the Toowoomba girls.
That's a good shot to start. Good shot for 1. Good batting from Kiara Wood.
And that's not going to do the kids' confidence any harm at all. That's going to feel really nice coming off the bat, the first ball Kiara's faced.
Goodness me, you better believe if I played that shot, I'm telling you for months about that shot.
Plenty of fist pumps up the pitch, I'm thinking.
A bit of chat back to the bowler, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, a really good start from Rockcliffe here as well. Getting her lines really, really spot on there. And look, if Wood's good enough to hit those shots consistently, then all power to her. If Rockcliffe can force her to play good shots, she's doing her job. And she's bowled her straight through. What a moment. So momentum has shifted significantly towards the Springwood Scorpions, who did come first this year. They only lost 1 game throughout the regular season. They're used to winning. They've had to get here the hard way by beating a hardened team like the Wynnum Seagulls in the prelim. This is absolutely game on as far as I'm concerned. Was that off the bat? No, it's gone straight through. the dot ball. Score is 32 as we come towards the end of the 9th over.
Stacey's got a bit of a spring in her step here. She's landing the ball right where she wants to. Nice big in swingers, and
that's really good hands in the front court from Voss again. Weeks showing her versatility at keeper. Only one scored for that shot, so that means that after that over it's -2 for the Skin. We're starting to look at, they need 50 runs to win from 7 overs, so that run rate is starting to climb. It's above 7 runs and over now. And we've got Charlotte Voss coming into the attack for the first time.
Very good bowling lineup, the Springwood side.
Yeah, absolutely. And Charlotte hasn't been in the best of bowling form. She's only taken 5 wickets in her 9 matches, but she very nearly went straight through Kiara Wood just then. Obviously learning from Stacey Rockcliffe, just bowl straight. Oh, a little bit of outswing beats the bat. Suddenly Woods doesn't seem as confident as she did earlier in the innings. On a 3rd ball opportunity here as well.
Another big moment within the game here.
Beats the bat. Rockcliffe doesn't take cleanly, and Childs, who may be a sprint champion, has gotten through.
It's really good awareness there from Childs, just to be backing up correctly, knowing as soon as the batter played a miss that she needed to get on her bike and get down the other end. So she's turned what could have been a -5 for the team into a 1. So that's really good game awareness.
That could be the difference, and you love to see that sort of experience from a young player. And that'd be that's the kind of stuff that I suppose you'd be looking for as a coach of national teams. Like, you're looking at players that have that really good game awareness. They work hard for their team. Unfortunately, Kiara Woods has played a little bit too flat into that side net there, and Jenkins is simply too good in the field.
Yeah, they're really executing the basics well, the Springwood side at this point in the game. Getting ball in hand and then using their keeper or receiver really well.
And this has been tremendous bowling by Voss, senior. Oh, that's snuck through for 3, I think. It may have just got to that 3 net. Very fortuitous for Childs, but and for the Toombul Tigers. The Toombul Tigers are sponsored by Innovate Property. So please go and check them out for all your property needs on the north side of Brisbane. And the Springwood Scorpions are sponsored by Artistic Landscapes. If you need your garden spruced up, be sure to give them a call, Artistic Landscapes. And the Artistic Landscape Scorpions have turned to Blaine Gibbs with her unusual action. Oh, goodness. Bit of a yes-no call, straight to Shelley Savage. Good night. If you're the coach of the Toombul Tigers and you have an opportunity to talk to these 2 batters, are you saying pretty much exactly what Kiara Wood just said?
Yeah,
go for the side nets?
Read our mind. They just need to find a way to stay composed here, really look at drawing up the outs for Springwood and just working the ball nice and square, hitting 1s and 2s.
And they've just hit a 1, and it was a good shot. Maybe again just a little bit flat. I'm worried about them hitting so flat into that front court. They really do need to get that ball down and up. That's tremendous bowling from Blaine Gibbs. So fair to say, Springwood starting to really firm in our estimation here. They're 52 runs in front. There's 5 overs left.
Yeah, they're in the box seat at the moment, that's for sure. It's a funny game, indoor cricket, it's never over. If this pair can fight really hard here and, scrap their way to a +5 partnership, it gives the last pair a look. You've got Rachel Sims and Jude Coleman closing the batting for Toombul, so the game is certainly not over by any means. It's a really nice shot there from Kiara for a down up 3, so that's certainly helping the cause.
Absolutely, and I'm just sort of running the maths in my head. So the last time these teams played, Rachel Sims and Jude Coleman combined for 42 runs. So realistically, if you get them within 40, there's a really good chance that they could spring a huge rally here and get the Toombul Tigers back in the game. Unfortunately, with that wicket, it's starting to look like a bridge too far. They really need to consolidate here. They're bringing Charlotte Voss back on for a second over of the skin after such a successful first. They really need to find as many runs as they can without losing wickets.
Exactly. It's just making it a little bit challenging at the moment with that deficit being 50 plus.
Yeah, we're looking at 55 runs to win off 5 overs. So that's a run rate of 11 runs and over, which is almost to a ball. It's starting to look like a steep one, especially with Charlotte Voss in this sort of form.
Yeah, and they've got some quality bowlers left with Kat Jenkins and Alex Weeks, both with an over each. So there's plenty to throw at that last pair.
And Rockcliffe. Rockcliffe bowled really well in her first over. As I do a score check, it looks like Victoria Point are going to quite comfortably defeat Strathpine in the men's zone ICL. Oh, yes, that's out. Over committed to the run. It was a leg side. Brilliant work from Stacey Rockcliffe with the gather and throw. And wonderful hands from Blaine Gibbs at the top sticks.
I think you find that's just a bit of scoreboard pressure creeping in there. That the young girls are trying to find a way to turn strike and score some runs. And just making that little error of going too far down, too many steps and not being able to turn around and find a way back.
To this point, and this game is certainly not over, I cannot stress that enough, but they've got 2 high-quality batters coming in next. But to this point, it just feels like a game where Springwood have probably taken just a few more of their chances.
Yeah, I think they've just executed better, exactly. Bit of luck always helps. Ball going to hand. Just those few little moments within a game of cricket that have gone their way so far.
It's a really good shot. Good fielding from Voss. But good running from Kiara Wood. That was pretty good cricket all round, to be fair. Pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it's really good to see the girls still heads are down. They're watching the ball. They're still working really hard to, hit some more 2s and 1s and really give their side every chance.
I just noticed that Kiara Wood again saying to Childs, side nets. She's not worried. I mean, obviously they would be somewhat worried about the scoreboard, but they don't want to do anything silly. They don't want to fall further behind. It's good fielding from Alex
Another
Weeks.
good stop there from Weeksy up front. And every dot just adds that little bit more pressure to the run chase.
Yeah, it's certainly a situation where a dot ball is a good ball at the moment for Springwood Scorpions. Oh, that's an edge.
It's really well bowled.
And taken by Kat Jenkins, who is having an excellent night in the field. This has been unfortunate for the 2 batters out there. They would be feeling very upset about the way this has gone, but they have had a tremendous year, and it's worth remembering that they're both really promising players, and they will learn a lot from this experience.
Yeah. They've had an outstanding season, obviously, making it through to the grand final, and they've really contributed to their side's success all year, so they should be really proud of how they've gone this year.
So there's a no ball for a fielder in the front half, which means that shot is not worth 2, it's actually worth 4, and the ball is re-bowled. Every run helps for the Toombul Tigers here as Jude Coleman and Rachel Sims get ready for the chase of their lives. And I tell you what, if there's 2 bowlers that are going to, 2 batters that are able to do it, it might well be them. There's a leg side that will help. Charlotte Voss just needs to take some time at the top of the mark and execute her skills here.
played by Annie. Good way to finish.
They can hold their head high, even though they couldn't execute their skills as much as they wanted to. You're right, they never gave up that effort there, and they were committed to the team cause the entire time. Unfortunately, they won't be happy with the skin, but look, I tell you what, if you've got two batters walking out there now, these are the two you want out there. Looks like we've got Jude Coleman to face first. One of the greatest players in world indoor cricket, and Rachel Sims as well. And we're going to start with Stacey Rockcliffe.
Jude's been hitting the ball pretty well today. I actually had 9 holes of golf with her a little bit earlier, and I tell you what, she was hitting the drives well. So if that's anything to set an example of, we should see some fireworks here.
And that ball's, I mean, sure, that ball's not moving as much, but it is smaller, so hopefully she'll see this ball like a beach ball. I've got a lot of faith here that this game is going to go right to the wire. And that's just tremendous bowling. Coleman's backing away, trying to access that offside, but that in-swing delivery from Rockcliffe was bang on.
Yeah, she's just trying to free her hands a little bit, give herself some room to hit. And obviously Stacey was good enough to follow her with the ball.
And a good shot for 2. So, not that Jude Coleman would need a whole lot of advice, but if you were to give some advice to her in this situation, are you thinking just go for it right from the get-go? Or are you expecting that it would be best for them to get themselves in first?
Yeah, look, Jill will be patient. She'll wait for the right ball. She knows the areas that she likes to play aggressively to, so she'll be looking for something that's over-pitched. And I think you'll find that Rachel sit back and just bang 2s, try to turn strike and give Jude as much exposure to the bowling as she can. So they'll complement each other in this case. I don't think they'll both go early. It'll definitely be a case of Rach working 2s and then Jude looking for anything loose.
Well, it seems odd that they wouldn't be taking runs there. I understand that there's a threat of a run out, but with the game situation, I'm not sure I'd like so many dot balls if I could avoid it. For that exact reason. That's a 3rd ball wicket. Very good composure from Alex Weeks. Good gloves at the back sticks there, and good hands from back sticks from Blaine Gibbs.
Unfortunately, that probably came about by that hesitation on the previous ball, to be honest with you. Like you said earlier, if they would have found a way to turn strike there, Jude would have been on strike. They wouldn't have been on 3rd ball, and they could have avoided that situation. So
they might be on 10 runs now instead of 1 for the skin, and it's all those little moments that you don't think about, but they're the difference between winning the skin or losing the skin. The skin becomes the difference between making the finals and not making the finals. All these balls matter throughout the season, and it's rare that you find a sport that each and every ball carries as much weight as an indoor cricket ball does. That's a wonderful shot.
Yeah, really well played from Jude, but really well bowled from Kat. She knows that Jude's going to want to jump on the front foot, so she bowled that big cutter, just that slower ball, and didn't allow Jude to free her arm. So just a really good battle there with the ball.
She's gone for a bit too much there, and she's ended up airing down the leg side. Interestingly, I've noticed that Shelley Savage has moved into the leg side sweeper position. Obviously, they're anticipating a few more aggressive strokes. And that's out. This is just going to be a bridge too far for the Toombul Tigers, it looks like. Springwood Scorpions right on their game here. That's really good bowling from Kat Jenkins.
Yeah, it's really good composure showed from Springwood. Such a young team, obviously, with a few experienced players like Shell and Kat out there, but I think Weeks has done a great job leading the girls tonight, and they've looked really clean and clinical in the field.
Oh, a little bit of room to free her arms, and it just carries over Olivia Voss's head. Probably beat her for pace, to be honest. and just gets to the back net on the full, which is 7 runs. A few more of those would be extremely interesting.
To be pretty aware of this now, so she's looking to really force down leg side. I think she'd rather a wide than giving any width.
I was just thinking the same thing. That's out. Shelley Savage in that position for that exact reason. Gets the job done. Now that it's looking fairly much like Springwood should secure the ladies NICL Southeast Queensland Championship. And congratulations to both teams for making it this far. What would you say was a real moment where this game turned in Springwood's favour, do you think?
Look, I think Kat and Blaine batting at 4 for Springwood, coming in after that -4 partnership, being able to find a way to score 35, really gave Springwood a chance or a target to bowler. I think that was a big moment within the game. And then obviously the way that the Springwood girls were able to tie up Sarah White and Ali Nagel in that second pair, I think.
Yep.
If they would have let that pair get their normal 30 to 40 runs, they would have found it really hard to rein the TOOM Tigers in.
I've got to agree with you. I was thinking that last skin for the Springwood Scorpions, because it can't be underestimated how difficult that would have been. The TOOM Tigers were up. They just took the previous skin for -4. The momentum is with them, and they not only turned the momentum, like they stopped it, but then they turned it in their favour. And you're quite right. I was talking to Rod Jenkins earlier about, he said he thinks the most important skin in any batting pair is the second skin. And in this case, you're probably right. That 18, a big difference made. As Jude Coleman goes big again. I didn't know she was such a brutal hitter.
It's actually an area of the game that she's been working on, just to her ability to put away some loose bowling from time to time, and we've been joking around about it a little bit, that she's definitely turned into one of the big hitters in the game these days, so it's nice to see it paying off.
And look, you never know when you're going to need it. It's probably not a bad skill to have in your back pocket, because in a situation where you need 50 runs and a skin to win a championship.
There she goes again.
Only 4 that time, because it just clipped the side net before it hit the back net. But she's certainly striking them well. I think you're quite right about that golf. It seems to have paid off. How are you hitting them, by the way?
I didn't have my best day today, so let's just leave it at that for the minute.
Oh, that's a tremendous effort from Stacey Rockcliffe. Weeks catches the outside edge of Sims's bat. It hits the back net. It sort of goes into suspended animation for a bit, and she dives and gets it with her outstretched left gloved hand. That's a fantastic effort. Considering how disappointed Rockcliffe and Blund would have been with their batting, they certainly have come out in the field. They've given it all with the ball. They've put that behind, that -4.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best parts of playing indoor cricket, is that you can play a really important role in any 3 of the aspects of the game. So even if you're not quite as successful as you would hope with the bat, you can certainly go out there and do something in the field or with the ball. So you've always got a role to play.
You'll notice there's a field change here where we've got Savage, Blaine, Gibbs and Jenkins at the back net. They're basically just expecting the TOOM Tigers to throw caution to the wind and try and hit everything for 7. As you probably would in this game situation. Although that won't be easy against someone as sharp as Olivia Voss, who I can't stress enough has been super impressive tonight.
Yeah, it's just been a really polished performance by the girls from Springwood.
All is not lost for the TOOM Tigers. They've had a tremendous season. They came second, 7 games and 5 wins. They beat Springwood earlier in the season in the semi-finals to get here. I thought they bowled and fielded, for the most part, really quite well, particularly for the first 12 overs or so.
Another one goes the journey.
Oh, Jude Coleman. She's put that one right next to the hole, I reckon. And that's... So they've made a good account of themselves here, and they're getting probably about as close as they probably deserve to be for this game. But congratulations must go to Springwood.
One ball left here. If you're a betting man, where are you thinking it's going?
It is... the bowler must be thinking leg. The batter must be thinking cross bat 7. I'm thinking a hack to 2 on the leg side. Oh, no.
Oh, bowl.
They'll just take the 1. And that's it. That's the championship. The Springwood Scorpions have won the ladies NICL in the Southeast Queensland region. A hearty congratulations to Toombul. They fought hard, Wendy Kemp, but they just couldn't execute their skills to the same level that Springwood could today.
Yeah, a bit unlucky for the Toombul girls not to go back-to-back, but they'll be bigger and better next year from the experience. And yeah, massive congratulations to the Springwood girls.
So this is the Springwood Scorpions' first year in the ladies NICL. They came across from Salisbury Eagles, and you can't fault that performance. There was a couple of moments where it looked a bit hairy, but I tell you what, they got stuck in, and frankly, they probably just wanted it a little bit more at the end. They stayed a bit more composed, like you talked about, and deserved victors today. A lot of the young players really stood up, which was super impressive, I thought.
Yeah, I think they've been enthusiastic all year, all season. We've seen them out there training, really wanting to do well for each other, and they executed well tonight. So, like you said, congratulations to those girls.
Thank you very much for joining us on callingallsportsbrisbane.com and at Queensland Cricket Indoor. My name's Bo Nicholson. Thank you very much, Wendy Kemp, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to meet you. And thank you for watching.
Thanks for having me.